Hey guys, welcome back to another one of these videos. Today we're playing 14 Minesweeper variants, and before we get into it, I would just like to apologize if there are any volume issues. There are some people doing landscaping and gardening work outside with some trucks. They might be gone now, but we shall see. I guess if it gets really bad, you won't hear this anyway, so let's go on and get into it. Last time, if I recall, we were working our way through unlocking the double exclamation marks. We're going to continue doing that with some triplet. So let's get into it. And let's see. Something I'm immediately thinking about is just what we can do with potentially this area here when compared to this area. Given a thing I've talked about multiple times, just difference of areas on either side of two adjacent clues, we know that either this will be the case, this will be the case, or this will be the case with one mine in there. And we'll just go ahead and look through some of these cases real quick, see if we can gather anything. I'm not 100% sure what we will be able to find, though. Okay, that's that one. If we're instead looking at this one, then we still have all of these. And something else we can kind of notice is that regardless of what we do with this 2, this one up here can't be a mine in this case. And similarly, if we do that, we know that one can't be a mine either. I'm not sure though, I don't think there's really much else we can see there. Yeah, no, that's a shame. Okay, something else I'm kind of wondering is if putting a mine here will cause any problems. The idea being that it forces there to be one mine on each of these sides. And then we know the remaining two mines must be here and here. And maybe, I mean, we could do something where we, like, split this up into the 3 different cases, which would be, not that, which would be this, or this situation. And maybe these will show us some similarities between whether there is a mine here at all, and I don't know if not having a mine there that will help with such a thing. Triplet is definitely one of the trickier ones. So I guess in the yellow and, oh my goodness, in the yellow and red cases we know none of these 3 can be mines, just because we already have all 3 mines around the clue. Furthermore, we also get both of those. In the blue case we then get neither of these, but I'm not really seeing a whole lot else here, which is unfortunate. Yeah, in the red case, we can't guarantee no mine here either. Okay. I guess something else that's kind of similar is this mine over here, or potentially this one, because these both do a similar thing where they are able to force mines in certain positions. Something I'm curious though, with this mine being here, we know there has to be one mine over here. That also puts a mine over there. Okay, I see. So that is a problem then. Okay, so this, there we go. Now I have something I can more work with. Okay. What else is there? Well, now we know that there has to be a mine in one of those, which puts 2 mines up here, which then gives us both of those. What else is there? Okay. Something else I'm wondering is if it's possible to have one mine over here by this 3, or if not, if both of those are non-mines. We can't have 2, of course, because that would force there to be 3 over here, which creates a row of 3. But we can have 2. This one is a non-mine just because either we have this or that, which forces that to be a non-mine in all situations. And is there anything else? We also get that as a non-mine. Okay. Versus if we have a mine here, then do we get anything? Well, then we know there has to be a mine there for this 4, which puts a non-mine up here, which puts a mine over there, and then we have 1, 2, 3, 4. There must be a 5th mine somewhere. And we also get that this one's not a mine in either of those cases. So maybe something that'll be worthwhile looking into, I'm not really saying anything here, is if this one could be a mine. Correct? Because then that forces there to be at most 1 mine here, So we get 1 mine there, 1 mine there, and we have 1, 2, 3, 4 like this. So we can then mark some stuff. That also tells us then there has to be a mine down here, which then gives us this. But that puts 2 mines by the 3, therefore this one cannot be a mine. Cool. Okay. So, now I'm going to think about maybe some of the situations around this 2 here, because these 2 kind of interact. First of all, in this case, we have 1 mine there, 2 mines up there, so that puts the last mine around there. Versus if we have this situation. Well, I guess one thing we can note again in this one, given that there is 1 mine over here, is that there can only be at most 1 mine in there. There can be at most 2 mines in there, so that puts our last mine there still. And if we have 2 mines here, I think that breaks things, because then, yeah, then there are no mines either of these, but you can see we need all of these spaces now to finish off the 5, and that is too many. So, therefore, we know there will only be 1 mine here, which then puts 1 mine in these 2, 1 mine in those 2, bird being loud, and then lastly, no mines over there. Cool, that's just a simple thing. So now we can fill in all of this, keep on working through this puzzle, and okay. Oh wait, that one's finished. Cool. So I guess now the next thing we can notice is, or rather we can think about, regardless of where we put a mine in one of these 2, which we know there will have to be 1 more because there's 1 mine over here by the 3. We put it here, there's not a mine there, same with that. So therefore there will never be a mine here, then we gotta finish off that. There's no mine up there, this 2 is also finished. And I'm beginning to wonder if we're at a point where we might need to start using the remaining mines. I'm not 100% sure, but we could be, right? Because we have 3 in this region. Just put 3 there. We have an additional 2 in this region. It puts up to 5. We have 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay, so no, there is 1 cell of leeway, but that's good to know. Okay, maybe what I will do then instead is consider some possibilities for this 2 and 4 combo, and then maybe these if this doesn't pan anything. Or rather, this doesn't work. So in this situation, oh, okay, I see. So this one up here just can't be of mine because it would force her to be a row 3. So we get that. Then we also get this by a difference argument. Now I wonder if there's something we can deduce with mine count shenanigans. There may be. So we have 1 around here, 1 more down here, and then we need 3, 4, 5, 6. But there can only be 1 in here, so we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Cool. So then this tells us some things that we can immediately find. And, alright, cool. We then get that row 3, 4 is finished, 3 is finished. Cool. There we go. That's that puzzle completed. We just gotta do 2 more of these now. We can first of all put in that. We can also put in all 3 of these and any deductions we can gather from them. We can also finish off that now. And, okay. Oh yes, one thing we can do is fill in both of those. That's just by a similar argument to a 4 on an edge, like this. It's a pseudo 4 kind of, where we're just, if this area didn't exist, that'd be a 4 on an edge. So we can use that kind of logic. Alright. So now, let's see what we can do. First of all, this 3 could have both of them here, but I think this at least looks like it could cause problems. Maybe not. Then we get both of those, which then gives us that. Okay. Yeah, maybe not. Maybe I was being hasty. I guess there are a few things I can consider. First of all, I wonder if doing something like splitting between the 2 cases around this 4 would make sense. If this is like a good place to look, or not. Because then we get this. We also know there are no mines around here at all. So that puts the last mine down there. Versus if there is a mine down here, then we get no mine up there, which then, okay, at the very least we know this one has to be a mine, so I guess then there was a way to show that 2 mines down there didn't work, but that's okay. And then what we get now for this 3 is that, in that case, it has to still look like that, so we can mark in both of those. This also finishes off the 2 in the yellow case. Versus in the red case, we have no mine here, which then means there had to be at most 1 mine up there, which then tells me there is a mine here. No mine there, but we can now see in the red case, we have already finished up this 3, that would put 3 mines down there, which is impossible, therefore it must be the yellow case. And no, looks like I messed up somewhere. Let's see where it was that I messed up. Oh, I'm silly, I miscounted. Well, that's okay. We are going to use some level of safe scumming on this, just because what's important to me is more, honestly, unlocking the future thing. I'm okay with scumming for such a purpose. Alright, so let's see, we had that as well. Okay, here we go. We're back where we were. So we can mark in both of these, and oh man, yeah, I remember there were a lot of deductions we were able to come through this, or that we were able to come to through this. So we can go ahead and mark in some of this stuff, then mark in all of those, and that, and these as well. Okay. And lastly, that versus in the red case now. That's right, we did have that was always the case. Cool. And what else do we have? Well, then we know that neither of these ones can be mines, and that both of these ones must be mines, because we already have 2 up here. There can only be at most 2 down there, so then the last mines be up there. So we get both of those, which also gives me that. And then that also tells me both of those must be mines. In the yellow case, that also forces a mine down there now. So we can then see that in either case, this one here can never be a mine. And this just tells us it was actually the red case all along. So we can then fill in all of this stuff. Cool. And now we probably have an argument based on number of remaining mines. We have 1 there, 2 there, last one must be up there, which then tells us there's only 1 here, none there. There we go. Cool. Now only got 1 more of these to do before we can move on to a harder version. And maybe there's a chance I'll do some of these off screen just so we can get into better positions. Or not better positions, but like we have less of them we need to do in an episode. Just because I imagine doing like 50-60 minutes of just triplet might be a lot. But you can see. Okay. So now then, where can we go from here? Well, first thing I could consider is if there can't be 1 here, because this finishes off the 3, but then in order for the 2, we need 2 there, which breaks things. So we can mark in that. Okay, another 3. Alright. I wonder if it's worthwhile to think about the possibilities for this 2 combined with this 3, correct? Maybe. So one of them is something like this. Then we also have this. I don't know how worth it this is. Something we could do instead is consider the possibilities of this 3 up here, because they're a bit more limited, where it's just this, or neither. In the red case, we can actively see that both of these then have to be mines, which then forces neither of those to be mines, forces this one to be a mine as well. Which also gives us this is not a mine, which then tells us that this one up here can no longer be a mine. And that is all that we can gather from that, I believe. Yes, yeah, it is. Okay, cool. In the yellow case instead, I don't know if we have something similar. Well, no, I guess we do. Yeah, we get both of those are mines, which then tells us that neither of these are mines. And that one up here also is not a mine. And we also then get that, I don't know if we really get the same necessary themes from it, though, do we? Oh wait, no, the yellow case totally does not give that. I'm sorry, neither does the red case. Man, no, I'm not looking at this properly. Correct, because, yeah, there can be 1 there and 1 there. It doesn't tell us anything beyond that. Maybe instead it's worthwhile to think about if this thing is not complete, then we know it's either going to be this or this. But I think the red case right here implies this stuff. Yeah. Which this one might be more forcing, but I'm not immediately seeing that. Well, I guess we can rethink of this, the red case, as being if there isn't a mine in this position, because the only way to have one mine down there is if neither of those are mines. So maybe this could be what we use. And I don't think this is really giving us anything, though. Okay, something else I was thinking about was if we wanted to do something where we go around and check some of the 3 possibilities, or the possibilities around that 3, rather. So then we could get something like this as one of them, where we can then mark in all of that stuff as non-mines. Similar idea would be if there is a mine here, then we again get a lot of stuff. But I don't necessarily see the same kind of deduction coming from that. If there is a mine here, then we can mark off some of these, but I'm not really seeing a lot. I guess in this case we then get both of those, which implies neither of those, which also then tells us that both of these are mines, which tells us that one isn't. Cool. And neither is this one, but of course then this forces both of those to be mines, which is a contradiction, so this one cannot be a mine. Cool. And then there's only really one more case for us to look at now. Now, sounds like some of the construction workers might be leaving. Who can say? If this one here is a mine, then we get neither of those are mines. There's one mine there, which tells us there are 2 mines up here. And I guess something else we can notice about this red case, rather, is that there will then have to be a mine up there, which gives us that as well. That's good to note. Yeah, I don't believe it gives us... Well, no, it also gives us this. Cool. Okay. That was just a thing I noticed where an additional, I guess, deduction that you can make. I don't know if that was a particularly helpful one, though, but maybe it was. Okay. I'm not sure I'm really seeing a lot. Well, I guess in the blue case as well, we get that the same thing happens, which then tells us there's never a mine up here, but that wasn't really... Unfortunately, that wasn't what it was looking for, I guess. Yeah, in the yellow case, we don't get something similar, huh? No, there's no way to guarantee it looks like that there is a mine there, which is fine. In the red case, we can also see both of those have to be mines, which then tells us that these are the set of mines, so we can mark in all of those. And in the blue case, do we get anything similar? Hard to tell. Well, I guess one thing we know is there's only going to be one mine in this group, which tells us there is a mine down there, because there can only be 2 mines over there. So, ergo, we get that one's always a mine. Furthermore, that tells us there will always be a mine up here. Cool. So then we have 2 mines in that group. I don't know, that's a lot. Okay. There clearly should be more things we can find, though. Well, let's continue thinking. It might also be at a point now where looking at this structure doesn't make as much sense. Maybe it makes more sense to check things like... Well, I guess actually something we do know is that one will never be a mine. So that's cool. Oh, bird. Okay, well, actually, hold on then. That does actually get rid of one of the possibilities, so we can see if there's anything in common between the what was previously the yellow and previously the blue cases. So correct, again, this gives us all of this information. Versus the red case, where this one is a mine, it gives us this information, which means that one's always a mine as well. Cool. And then that tells us there has to be a mine up there as well, but the yellow case does not say such a thing. Last we can see in the red case, not a lot else, I think. I need to be sure also real quick that I'm not missing... Oh, I am missing some obvious triple. I just saw it. That. There we go. So that tells us that one up there is never a mine. Cool. This gives us both of those are mines, which that fit. Okay. That was nice, I guess. And furthermore, given that we know there has to be exactly one mine in this area, we can then rule out all of this. I'm just going to start clicking through some of the clues. Well, never mind, actually. Looks like that's most of really what we can gather. So, okay. Something else we can notice is that regardless of... Actually, no, that needs both of those mines, but Yeah. I guess the thing I was thinking of was also true. I miscounted. I thought there was only one mine left, so I was like, regardless of where we put it, that one has to be a non-mine. But alas. Okay. Now we have 2 mines left. That's the only way to fit in 2 mines. Cool. We have now unlocked triplet 8x8. How much do I need to unlock this? 10, huh? Okay. So what I might do instead is unlock the 8x8 stuff here. On my own time, I'll probably go through that. And then in the future, I can run through the harder puzzles. That sounds good. So now we're going to move on to outside. Let's go. That one can't be a mine. If it was, I had no way to escape. Similarly, we know both of those had to be mines, and that this one down here must also be a mine. Cool. Okay. So I guess something we can now consider is what to do with this one, right? Because we know there's one mine in that region, which means there can't be a mine down there, because it would force, in order to avoid checkerboard, it would force a curve, which would make 3. And furthermore, we know that one can no longer not be a mine, or rather, can no longer be a mine, rather. We can fill in all of these as well. Fill in that, do that to avoid checkerboards, and that in order for it to leave. And then this 5 is also finished, as is this 1. That to avoid checkerboard patterns. And that one up there to also avoid checkerboard patterns. Cool. So, okay. Next thing to consider, I guess, would be if we put a mine here, then given the fact there's only one mine in this row, or column rather, based on the difference between 3 and 2, we know those can't be mines, that one also can't be a mine, so that is trapped, so therefore there cannot be a mine there. And, okay. Now that we know there is a mine here, and I guess we could consider what happens if this one is a mine. We then know that this group is a group of mines, that one over there is a mine, and I don't think this immediately breaks anything necessarily. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 mines, so we could definitely... Well, I guess in this case, we need to fit in a few more, right? So we couldn't put a mine here, for instance, because then that would require this thing to leave through here, and that would cause there to be too few mines, so that tells us there has to be a mine there as well. Otherwise, though... So we have 6, we need 3 more out of this group of 4, so that tells us there is a mine there, there must be a mine here, and this is one there as well. Okay, so that's one situation. The other situation we have is this, which then, again, tells us there will be a mine there, so we always know there will be one there. Also tells us there won't be a mine here, and that's just by a difference argument between these 2 3s. And, okay, then we know there is not a mine there. Cool. And now, how many squares do we have left? How many mines do we need? We have 2 mines currently. We need 6 more. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay. So we know there has to be 1 mine there. So then we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh, rather, hold on. I'm not thinking about this completely properly. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So that tells us that all of these must be mines. So we can at least mark these 3 in. No, not necessarily. I must have made a mistake. Let's see what the alternative pairing is. It is... Oh, it's in our yellow case. Interesting. That means I must have messed up one of my deductions somewhere. Oh, I see. It doesn't force that one. They just had to be either of those. Okay. Very well. Yeah, that was my mistake. So we can mark in both of these again. We also get that, and then based on this, we know that can't be a mine. That tells us all 3 of those had to be mines, which finishes off that too. We also gather both of those aren't mines. That one is. Yeah, all those deductions work. And, okay, cool. We can then finish off all of these, finish off all of those, and that, and that. And, hold on. I am getting texted. That's okay, I'll respond to it a bit later. Alright, cool. So now, again, let's consider our possibilities. This time I'll try to be a bit more accurate, I guess. So if we have a mine here, then we know there has to be a mine here as well. That finishes off our 3s, so we put a mine up there, no mine there, mine here, and now. Okay. We're in the same situation. We have 4 mines left in these squares. We know 1 must be here, 3 must be in here. Correct? Yes. Are there any groups that we can't have with this? Not necessarily, but we know again there has to be a mine there, which tells us that. We also know there has to be a mine here and here. And I think that's everything we can gather. And the reasoning is if there isn't, then we just have a non-mine that's trapped in either case. Cool. So now, let's assume we have a mine up here instead. Then we get no mine there, no mine there. We have 1, 2. Third mine there, which tells us there isn't one here. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So I think at least we can still deduce. I'm just going to double check my counting real quick. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 out of 8 remaining. We can still deduce at least that those two are mines rather. The 4 needs to lead through there, so we can get both of those. And that now tells us that the red case is impossible, so it has to be the yellow one. So we can just click through, and there we go. We've done enough for it to be only mines left. Nice. Okay. So I guess something we can think about is there can't be a mine up there. The reasoning being if there is one here that forces those two mines to be there, but that's impossible. It makes checkerboard, so that's no good. We also nope, not there. Whoops, that was not well thought. Let's think real quick. So we know there's going to be at least one mine down here. There's at most 2 mines up here. That means there has to be exactly 2 up here, exactly 1 down there. So we can then mark in that. Mark all of those as non-mines, mark in that one. And cool. We also know this one can't be a mine, just by some standard checkerboard avoiding logic. I don't know why I said it like that, but yeah. Okay, so we get that. And what else do we get from here? Okay. I guess something we can consider is what to do about this 4, correct? Because we know that it can't be all 3 over here, because then that 4 is finished, but we have a checkerboard. So there's only going to be 2 over here, which then means there isn't one over there. And that's enough to finish off that one as well. But let's see. So I guess maybe now it would be worthwhile to think about some of what happens with this stuff, maybe? So we have a mine up there, then we get all of this for free. We can then mark in that, and we get both of those, and that's impossible now, because it would require this 2 to be broken, so we can actually just mark in that it has to be over there, which allows us to fill out all of those. Nice. Okay. I wonder if this is just a general problem with this route. Yeah, it is. Okay, cool. So that means that it has to go up here, and then we also get 1 over there to avoid a potential checkerboard. 1 there, 2 here, like that. 2 there, and that finishes off at 3. This 3 now needs to be finished. White checkerboard is again. And okay, we have 5 mines left. And the only way to fit them in is like that. Nice. Okay. Now we're just going to do 1 more of these real quick. This one's a bit... It's a bit tougher to find where to start. I assume it has just something to do with this 1, would be my guess. Let's assume there is one here for now. Then we get all of these, and needs to leave, so it has to go over here, and that has to go further, so it has to go down here. But then that breaks this 3, so there we go. Cool. Now then, let's see. What happens if there is one over here? Then it still needs to leave, so it still has to go downwards like that, and that again breaks the 3, so there can't be one there. Okay, cool. So now I'm wondering if there's anything we can deduce about the 3 from here. Like, there are a really large amount of possibilities for the 3, which is unfortunate. Yeah, I don't know how feasible it's gonna be. Maybe it'd be worthwhile to think about something like to do with this 1. So let's say we put 1 over here, correct? Then we know all of these ones are non-mines. Furthermore, both of those are mines, which then tells me that as well. Whoops. Just because there can only be 1 in a checkerboard area. But I don't really think this gives a lot. Maybe something we could consider is this case. Okay, yeah, this case breaks things. Basically, what that's saying is that there can't be a mine in any of these, because that would force both of those. Now this 6 is finished. So we can mark in all of that. So is this 4. Now that finished off this 2, and this 3, and then this 2, and then this 2, and then this 2. And we can continue on finishing off more of these clues. Okay, cool. So now we have 4 mines left. If we put a mine here, then it forces all 3 of those to be mines. that gets all 4 of ours, but this group doesn't finish, so there we go. That's at least something we could do. Now we have 2 more there, which means, let's consider what happens if this one isn't a mine. Then this thing needs to leave with 2 more, so it has to go down there. That's a possibility. I don't really know this is going to yield a lot, because, well, in this case, no. Now they have to connect up to this one and then the end, but that's impossible, is it not? Because it can't go down like this, for instance. That creates a checkerboard. Okay, so I think that tells me that this one down here must always be a mine at least. Cool. Whoops. So in this case, then it has to go over there. And then it can no longer be this one. But I wonder if there are any other ones that it can't be. In this case. Oh wait, no, I'm being silly. In the yellow case, we can see that this area requires the remaining 2 to be up there. So therefore it has to be the red case, which does not imply that. Oh no, it could be both of those. It does imply that, though. Okay. That's what I was missing. Cool. Okay, I'm marking all of these. That's interesting, though. Once you get through, like, this first part, this puzzle kind of mostly falls apart. I did mess up towards the end, but it's close. And then, yeah, you need this area as well. Critical thing is that isn't mine. Now, this does force it to go upwards here, and then the remaining mine is one of those 2, so we can mark in all of those, and there we go. Puzzle is finished. Okay, cool. So, I guess now I'm kind of at a crossroads, so I could do some negation, unlock more of that in preparation for this. Maybe that makes sense. Or I could go through, do this kind of thing, work through these. There aren't enough mini-cross puzzles to really make this difficult. I can actually do the same thing over here with some of the groups, and there, same argument. Or I could do some ultimate mode. Maybe I'll do some of this. So you can see I have been doing stuff on here a bit, just when I'm not really recording, partially because it's been more difficult for me to record over some of the weeks prior to this, because finals and the like have been very busy. We'll see. There's some people outside. Some of my neighbors who are a bit more noisy. I'm not sure how long they're going to be out there, but hopefully they shouldn't really impact the audio quality this much. If they do, though, I guess it'll end here, but let's see. Maybe what I could do real quick is, which one of these do I want to play some of? Oh yeah, I did do Ultimate Perfects on some of those as well. Maybe what I can do is, I'll just do a few of these real quick. These ones shouldn't be too difficult. But keep in mind that we're in Ultimate mode, which forces us to find every possible deduction. I think that's all of them from here. Cool. That's finished now, and we also know it has to go at least 1 up there. 2 liar then. This means this has to be a 3, so that one's not going to be 1. There will be 1 in each of these 2 groups. I'm pretty sure that's everything we can find, though, so I'm going to go and continue going. Cool. Now then, what else do we have here with this 3? Well, we know there can only be 1 in this group here, so there will be exactly 1 there. Both of these here, nothing there, 1 up there. This 5 eyesight's now also finished. And, okay. I don't know if there's anything else we can find. Well, I might look real quick just at this and see what this kind of gives me. Correct, so then we have 1 up there, and versus 1 here, which then forces in all of these. But again, this isn't really a problem. None of these run into issues. I think I'm good to move on. Nice. Okay. So now we know there can't be 1 down there, and then we have 1, 2, 3. So that means that this one can't be part of it. And then we need 1 there. There we go. Okay. Oh, another quad hashtag. I thought I was on this. Does it not? Skip. Okay. Now we're gonna go manually into here and do a connected hashtag because I want a different thing. Okay. So we can get that. We can get all 3 of these, and I believe nothing else is possible. Nice. Now, did I already do this one? I did. Okay, whatever. Alright, connected multiple. Or rather, connected hashtag. That was just multiple. We're gonna do this one instead. So we get all of those. We know it has to go into here at least. And the only way for it now to get 3 groups is to have something like that. But we can't determine anything about this group here, so we can do that. There we are. Okay. And Now then, what else do we see? We see either way it's going to be this kind of thing, or this kind of structure. Either way, this 2 vanilla is finished, so we can get that. Do we get anything else, though? In this case, it forces both of these up here to be mines. So that one is. Versus in the yellow case, we know there's one more mine in here, and then we get 3 of these. I don't think there's anything else we can glean. I'm going to go and continue going. Cool, there was not. Okay, we got all 3 of those, which then tells us we're in this situation. And, of course, we then get both of those, finishing off the puzzle. Cool. So then I believe we only need 2 more. We'll do a triplet hashtag now. We get both of those, nothing up there. And... oh man. Okay, something that is fun. When I say fun, I don't really mean it with this, is sometimes there are extremely long, far-reaching consequences. I think this is fine. Yeah. Okay, cool. That's just like a triplet thing in general, which can be incredibly annoying. Something we know now is that if one of these is filled, both of them are filled, so it's either going to be this structure right here, or this structure right here. In this case, we get nothing through all of those, which of course is impossible, so therefore it will be this kind of thing right here. Now then, let's consider some possibilities for this 1-2 group. If we have this, then we get this up here, which seems normal, versus if we don't have anything there, then we know we need a group of 2 snaking around, but of course it can't be this one, because then that forces one over there as well, so therefore we'll have to be something involving this, and we get there is not a mine up there either way. So that's at least something. I don't believe there's much else we can deduce, though. It doesn't seem like it. No. And of course, there isn't anything we can do with remaining mine counts, right? We get 1 mine here, 1 mine here. Actually, I'm going to get rid of previous marks real quick, because this is kind of a different thing. We get 1 here, 1 here, 1 here. Our maximums. 2 here. And then, yeah, we could have at least 1 here, but then we could also have something over there or something like that. So, okay, yeah, cool. I think this is everything. Nice, it is. Okay. So now we have a 7 eyesight, that's fine. I guess one thing we can immediately note is it can only go at most 1 down, so that means it has to go at least 1 up, like that. And I guess something we can consider is what happens if this one is a mine, right? Then we have it goes 4 here, 5, 6, 7, so that this gives us a very strict situation. That also tells us that one is a mine, and now, can we do anything with this? We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, nope, okay, we cannot, cool. I don't know if I'm going to consider if it does other things, to be honest. I think maybe it's more worthwhile to think about some stuff with this 3 and 2, potentially. So first of all, if we're in this situation, then we get all of this. In addition, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, so that tells us it needs to go through both of those. And this just allows us to mark in all of these as mines, because we need to hit our maximum, or rather we need to hit 6, not all of them, actually. We know it's going to be 2 more of that 3. I miscounted. So, alright, cool. That's one situation. Next one is something like this. We then get this as well. And now we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, lastly there's this. It's looking like it might also just be the case that we found everything, which I did not see we had an asterisk, which means it's likely we did. I'm just gonna assume we did. Okay, cool. Alright. So now then, we have this 4 cross. Did I already do this one? Oh my gosh, I did. That's so annoying. I did not see that until just now, huh? Okay. Well, whatever. We know both of those as deductions. That's a standard thing. That should... oh, is that not everything? No. Okay. Hold on. What can we say about these? Let's assume this one is a non-mine. I'm pretty sure it's both of them are mines, would be my guess. Yeah. Okay. So this one has to be a mine. Similarly, if this one's a non-mine, we then get those, which blocks off this, which forces that. How is this exactly a problem, then? Okay, then it's a problem with the 2 there. So we get that's a mine as well, and cool. Whatever, that's... I don't know, that's kind of a cheaty way to do it, but I think it's fine. I did ultimately find the reasons for the deductions, which is important. Something I mentioned earlier is, honestly, I think this works as a really good way to train if you want to become better, I guess, at variants of the game. Just because it forces you to check all your available information, which can help you to find some deductions that don't show up as often. I think we know there's one in there, but the other one could be anywhere, so we're good. Vanilla, cool, that gives us that. And, okay, this one, yeah, disambiguates, nice. Okay. Cool, looks like we're good on that. And I guess at least now I have done every normal 5x5 thing. Ambulance going off, interesting. That you can do with Ultimate Mode. So, cool. I guess that's a good place to probably stop. Next time I will, before I start recording, I will have at least Triplet and Outside unlocked for this. We'll do some of those. Probably not Ultimate Mode, just because in Ultimate Mode, these puzzles can get even more difficult sometimes. I guess, honestly, I don't know. Something with, like, the fact that they require so much information to make any deductions kind of requires that, like, there are going to be very few deductions at a given point. So usually Ultimate Mode is extremely similar to just playing it normally. But I digress. Thank you so much for watching. Catch you in the next one. Peace.